So, I have some confessions to make. I'm a coffee snob. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm not even in focus because I haven't had my caffeine yet this morning. So, I'm going to show you a little bit of what ends I go to create an awesome cup of coffee. Some people just want to get their joe and go. Me, I make it a ritual. So we've got our ghee right here, all natural here. We've got our lion's mane mushrooms. Gotta love these people. The Four Sigmatic, Serenity Now reishi spores. We've got ourselves a little bit of sweetener here in the monk fruit in the back. And of course, we've got our little Kalapo coconut oil. What about the coffee itself? What you're gonna see here is the coffee purity. This one's decaf, so we're not gonna grab that. We're actually gonna grab this guy here. It's the Purity Organic Coffee, consciously crafted. And the big deal about this brand, the Purity, is that they are mold-free. Yeah, that's right. Lots of coffees out there, even the organic ones that they tell you all about, those have a lot of mold in them. And you know, it's how they deal with the coffee beans, right? They take the green coffee beans, they lay them out on a big piece of concrete, they dry them out, all that kind of stuff, and they bag them up. And if those things stay moist, you got all kinds of problems in there with mold. So I don't care if your coffee says it's organic or not, you gotta be careful. So that's why we use the Purity. But I will show you other brands as well, because you can get totally different coffee profiles on the beans and how they were roasted and, you know, all that kind of stuff that good coffee snobs know. Our Purity coffee over there, we have ourselves a little way to measure out how much coffee we have. We've got the Aero Latte for a little bit later when we start mixing things up, measuring cup, water, and of course I got a little hot plate here. I will show you now some techniques about what to do and what not to do if you want to be a true coffee snob. What do we have inside the cabinet here? We have a lot of different ways of making coffee and everything. You can kind of see what's going on in here. Oh yeah, got all that stuff going on. Oh, too fast for you to actually watch it, but what I want today is this little grinder and tell you why this kind of guy is actually terrible, but I'm still using him today. And then we are going for the pour over method. And look at that. Oh yeah, got ourselves a seriously large pot here, 20 cups. I don't know what cups people are drinking, but I drink really large cups of coffee. So those 20 cups are more like 2 for me, but you get the idea. Hey, I wanted to point something out on this carafe here for the pour over. I use a stainless steel strainer here with super small micro pores, okay? So none of the grinds, none of the grounds, none of the coffee particulates are gonna make it into my beautiful pristine cup of coffee. But the other thing about glass and stainless steel, no plastic. Okay, I don't want to be like those fish swimming in the sea in the Pacific who seem to all have a bit of Tupperware from the 1960s onward in them. I want to keep my body clean and mean. Okay, so my burr grinder is out of service at the moment. So all I have right now is this little Braun grinder, and you can see what's going on in here a little bit. Okay, it's got these little dudes. This is not the best way to make coffee. So if you're a true coffee snob, this is janky. I should just throw this thing out, but I gotta show you what I got today, all right? And so the problem with this is that it's gonna grind, you're gonna get lots of different sizes of the particles showing up in your grind. And that's not the greatest thing, because let's say you're making an espresso, you're gonna go with a much finer grind. You wanna go with, all the way on the other end, you go with a French press, and you're gonna have really big chunky pieces of coffee. And it has to do with how long the coffee is going, water is going through the coffee, and at what pressure, that kind of thing, temperature. Lots of things matter, because this is chemistry, buddy. But this guy makes particulates of many different sizes. You can't control it, so it's not ideal, but we're using it today, so red flag for coffee snobs. Hey, I know I'm jump cutting all over the place, but this is Coffee Snob Corner. This isn't anything to do with filmmaking. Look, earlier I said this makes 20 cups. It's totally wrong. 5 cups, okay? 5 cups, 20 ounces. I know that at 20 ounces, I need 40 grams of coffee beans. So important to get those ratios right. You can look that up online. And I'm gonna use this little guy here to be able to weigh that, okay? Let's turn this on. It says hello, because it wants me to have a good coffee morning. Put this guy on there, you can see now our weight goes up, or you can't actually see that, but this thing goes up, okay? I'm gonna actually hit the tare button, which takes it down to 0, and I'm gonna take my beans and pour that right in there until I get 40 grams. We're at 17. All right, so I'm at 29, but I can't fill it up any longer, so I'm gonna pour that guy right into here. And we need 10 more. 10.99. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit more, but I'm also gonna put more than 20 ounces of water in there. And I'll tell you why. Your grounds will hold on to the water. So if you put 20 in your little kettle here and you start pouring it over this guy, you're gonna find that by the time you get to the end, you're not hitting that 20 mark. You're gonna be somewhere in the middle. So I'm gonna go with a little bit more. That is a Coffee Snob advanced technique. All right, so now we are ready to get this grinder going. I'm going to show you the best technique I can with this crappy grinder. Oh, Braun, you poor guys. Sorry about the crazy noise that you're gonna get. What I want you to do is do this in bursts, okay? I don't want it to just sit there and go, grind, grind. I need to be able to look at them and see if the size is gonna be just right. And then also, if I do it in bursts, I can mix it up a little bit and it helps, because really what happens is the big grounds will sit on top and the little grounds will sink to the bottom. And if you just sit there going, jump forever, it's not gonna be good. All right, so that's about as boring as it gets for you guys to watch me grind these beans, but I will show you the results. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So, decent. Don't put your finger in here if it's plugged in, but that's about the right size that you would see coming out of a Folgers can. What? Folgers? What the hell are you talking about? It's like the F word when it comes to coffee. All right, so the deal is, let's go ahead and move this guy down here a little bit, and we're gonna pour that directly into our lovely carafe, into the little filter. I'm gonna make sure I get all of it, because coffee snobs don't like to waste. Unless you're making espresso, and then that means you're gonna throw out all kinds of cups of espresso until you get the ratios and the timing and the tamping and all that kind of stuff right. That's for another show. I got my water going on here. You can see I'm filling that guy right up with my RO water, okay? Now, like, the deal is you wanna get these ratios right, yeah? So, like I said, I'm gonna take this guy. Oh my God, I'm pouring it in. Why am I doing that? Because like I said, I want to go not just to the 20 line. See that right there? It's where we are. No, I'm going up just a little bit more, because like I said, I know that with the grounds, they're going to soak up some of that water and I won't be getting that into my coffee. So there's that advanced technique for you. All right, you remember, I have more water in here from the RO that I poured into the lovely carafe. You can see, right, just over 20 ounces. Well, obviously I don't need to heat this water. So look, we're drinking coffee, and that's well and good. but it's easy to get dehydrated. Lots of people who drink coffee drink only coffee and they don't drink water, but water is definitely necessary for us to survive. So I say, why throw this water out when you can put it inside your body? Okay, we've got our hot plate going right here. We've got our water that we need to get heated. So let's pour that guy right into our glass kettle here. Put that top right on top of there. Now, water temperature, super important, okay? We are going to go to 195 degrees for a pour over. So I've got this little guy here, which I can turn on and you can see, bum, bum, bum. What is the temperature in my house? Something like 76. So this guy, I'm gonna be putting into the kettle here and testing the temperature out. When I get up to that 195, 198, we will be ready to pour. The beautiful thing about the hot plate is it heats up fast. Let's see what temperature we're at. Dipping that little probe in there. 161, 165. So we're getting close to that temperature. You can see it go up pretty darn fast. All right, so we have reached temperature. We may even have gone a little bit over here. We're gonna test that. Let's see, 190, 200, 199, 198. So it's gonna come down here in just a sec, which is perfect. Like I said, we want her to be right around 195. The first pour is going to be just to get these things wet, and we're gonna create what's called the bloom. We'll do a little circular motion around here. All right, now we're just gonna let that soak in, make those grounds get a little bit bigger, puff up like a little cake for about 30 seconds. All right, bloom's over. Now what we're gonna do is just keep pouring, just enough to where there's water on top of those grounds, and then you let it just soak on through. And you know, it's probably about 20 seconds each time. You can do a different method. You can look this stuff up, okay? So what a lot of people will do is the continuous pour method, where they're just sitting here and just trickling water in constantly. I like to wait for it to soak down just a little bit and then come back over with another refresh. Pour over is not a fast method for coffee. So if you're trying to get this done quickly, wrong method, okay? If you want a one and done, if you want something that's simple, we'll show you like the Nespresso method, okay? Where we've got pods and all that kind of stuff. The coffee's still great, but it is as fast as you could ever want it to be. But pour over is more of a ritual. So we'll just let this stuff trickle right on in. Okay, while that coffee continues to drip, I am going to be putting in my awesome products here. So we've got some coconut oil, and I'm gonna do just a little over a teaspoon. I'm gonna do my ghee. I find that sometimes people react to the coconut oil, and the ghee actually helps you not have disrupted stomach when it comes to the coconut, which is awesome. And there are other benefits. Of course, while I'm doing that, I can still, you know, top up my little pour over right here. Make sure that it is still dripping through. Okay, we're gonna do the reishi. Now, it tells me that a teaspoon is how much I need, and I'm gonna actually just eyeball that. Reishi is great for serenity now, I say. Lion's mane is great for cognition. If you believe in mushrooms, like I do, well, this is a good thing to make superfood coffee. And of course, it does change the flavor profile. So, if you are worried about that, then forget all this junk and just go straight for the coffee. And a true coffee snob would probably do that. But I'm also a biohacker snob, so that's what you get. Doesn't that look tasty? So the deal is here, you know, making coffee as a connoisseur, why the heck would someone go through all this trouble, right? I mean, there probably are better things to do in your life than spend all of it doing this kind of thing. But you know what? This, for me, this is like, I don't know, one part artwork and one part meditation. And it really enhances my experience of living. And that's very similar. Like a lot of people talk to me, I'm normally talking here in the NFT space, blockchain smart contracts for my Phenomenal Future project. And there's some definite insights into why someone would want to buy NFTs. Why do they buy art? Why do they want to put something on their wall and have a party and have someone see that? It's very similar in the virtual space as well. You know, people want to enhance their experience of living. They want to show that they recognize beauty and quality. And it also is uplifting in the moments when they don't have anybody else around, you know, and they can experience it on their own. It's just me here with my coffee right now. Well, and you. Why would I go through all this trouble? It's really not to show you that, look at me, I'm amazing, I'm a coffee snob. No, it's really just to say, look, there are things that are worth experiencing in the world. We should try things out, you know? So this is one coffee method with one bean. I can get different beans from different places around the world. I get to taste what it's like maybe to grow up in the earth of Tanzania or in the jungles of Indonesia. There's something really cool about that. Now, if you really go crazy coffee snob, you could buy beans that are, you know, $1,000 for a little bag of beans that basically a cat in the jungles of Indonesia called the civet cat eats, and it actually doesn't, it only processes the kind of outer coating of the coffee fruit, and the bean itself survives going through the digestive system of the civet cat, and people actually pick that stuff up and make coffee out of it, if you can believe it. So that is like the ultimate when it comes to coffee snob. I am definitely not there yet. I may never go to the civet cat beans, but you know, I'd say find the things that you love and keep exploring, because this world has a lot to offer. That's a damn fine cup of coffee.